So Lawrence with Fox Business, thank you for taking the question, Chair Powell. So I want to go back to jobs and the consumer. The last jobs report showed that over the past year, 634,000 more people took multiple jobs. That's up 8.2%. And since January of 2021, we've seen prices rise 19%. So people are using their credit cards to pay for their lifestyle. What pressure points will signal to you that the slowing economy could maybe break companies in terms of hiring or break the consumer in terms of spending?
So, we monitor all the things you mentioned and more. What we're seeing is basically spending was going up faster than disposable income during big parts of last year rather. And so what that you'd expect to see is people spending more on their credit cards. That has been happening. Credit card balances have been going up. Credit card defaults have been going up. They're not at high levels. Remember that after the pandemic, people were cooped up. They couldn't spend money. They couldn't go out to spend money. They could spend money from home. But households were in very, very strong, historically strong financial shape. They've now worked off a lot of that. So we're watching that carefully. And what do we see? That's what we see. We see the same data that everybody else sees, but you've still got household sector that's in pretty good shape. But nonetheless, it's not in the kind of shape it was in a year or two ago. And we're carefully watching that.
So how close then are we to that point where the consumer can't continue to spend as a spending, or companies can't hire like they're hiring?
Consumer spending is still growing. It's not growing at the pace it was growing at a year or so ago, but it's still growing solidly. And by the way, other parts of the economy are picking up. Spending on equipment and intangibles has picked up quite a bit in the wake of all the construction that we saw of new tech plants. So overall, the economy is exhibiting solid growth, and something around 2%, which is a good pace of growth for the U.S. economy. But you're right though. We do see the same thing other people see, which is increasing financial pressures on more lower income people, and the best thing we can do is to foster a very strong jobs economy, which we think we have done. Ultimately, to get inflation under control, because those people experience inflation, very directly, very painfully, and once we get inflation under control, rates can come down, which will also improve things.